Hi there, I'm Virginia Lindsay of Ginger Cake Patterns and Design, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really fun and easy half square triangle pillow. This is an excellent introduction into quilting. It only is a 16 by 16 pillow, and I'm going to show you a fabulous technique to make all these half square triangles at one time and then put them together in a really easy way. So I think you're going to love it. And beginners are welcome to do this. I definitely think you can handle it. So stay tuned and let's begin. Okay, to make the magic 8, I'm actually going to do this twice to create the 16 pieces that we need. But you have a 10-inch piece of gray fabric and a 10-inch by 10 by 10 inches of gray. And try to make sure that it's cut as square as possible, and a 10 by 10 of white. And layer those two right sides together. And you're just going to, I'm using my self-healing mat to help me measure because it has all these lines and inches on it. It's so nice. So the first thing we're going to do is draw a line from this corner to this corner, a nice straight line. So use a straight edge and make sure that it's perfectly straight from corner to corner. And then we're going to draw one from this corner to this corner. So you have this nice X across the middle of the piece. And now I'm going to go over to my machine and I'm going to sew using this with my quarter inch foot. I'm going to sew on either side of this line. So right here and right here. I'm not going to sew on the line. And then the same here on either side. So I'm going to take my quarter inch foot and I'm going to line it up and sew on either side. Let's go over to the machine. I'll show you how I do that. Okay, I happen to have 2 of these quarter inch feet, and this one is a little bent, but basically what they look like is they have this nice little black thing. They might all be different, I'm not totally sure, but this gives you a really precise quarter inch. So I already have my other quarter inch foot on there. And I'm not going to sew right down the middle of this line. I'm going to line it up with the edge of my quarter inch foot, and just sew. I'm not even going to back stitch here. You could, I guess, and then just sew down this edge. So you can see that I didn't go on the line. I went a quarter inch to the side of the line. And now I'm going to do the same on this side of it. Okay, so here at the cutting table, I have the X's sewn, the 2 on either side of the lines we drew. And now I'm going to draw 2 more lines using my plexiglass ruler. Again, not needed, but really nice. Just nice straight line right down the middle there. And if you have a one like me, it actually has a 10-inch square right in the middle. So we put this right here. It's going to give us a really accurate line. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. The lines are drawn intersecting. Let me just check and make sure. I could draw them a little darker, but you can imagine what it looks like, kind of like a snowflake, everything intersecting in the middle. And you can use scissors here, but a little faster is your rotary cutter, and you just take it and you cut right in the middle here between the 2 lines you made. Right there. So you have one cut. My blade could be a little bit sharper. You never want to kind of yank. Sometimes I get lazy and I kind of yank it. And let's just use scissors for these other 2. Because I need to change my blade. So I'm cutting in the middle between those 2 lines I sewed. So now I have 4 pieces that look like this, and obviously this could not open. So now I'm just cutting on the lines that we just drew. like this. And look, all of a sudden you have 8 pieces here that are opened up to perfect half square triangles. Isn't that cool? I love that. Now all I'm going to do is go press right here. Press them all open, all 4 of them, all 8 of them. Okay, so I pressed open all the seams of that first magic 8 I made, and then I went ahead and made my second magic 8 the same exact way. So I have a total of 16 pieces here. Now this is a piece of foam board, and you can use a variety of things here. Some kind of piece of wood that's about 18 inches by 18 inches, whatever you want. And this is so that we can transport this easily over to the sewing machine without messing up the piecing here. So I'm just going to make my arrangement. I'm going to make this simple star that I like to do. But you can do a variety. I mean, you can just imagine the possibilities of what you can do here. I use a guide usually. I'm looking at a guide right now. I'll have this guide printed out. This is not my, I think it's a traditional. I'm going to try to find, somebody might be able to tell me the name of it if I can't find it out by the time I put this up for you guys. But it's a, you can do so many interesting things with half square triangles. But right now I'm just placing them in the order. I'm looking at my guide. It's over there. And to make it nice and easy on myself, you can see how it's kind of coming together here. Quilting always really, really intimidated me, so that's one of the reasons I really wanted to share this with you guys, so that you don't feel intimidated by some of these really fun and easy quilting projects. There, can you see it right there? Now what I'm going to do to sew it is I'm going to actually I'm going to kind of separate into 4 little sections here, and I find this the easiest way for me to get the pieces together accurately. Otherwise, like if I try to do it on a bigger scale than just 4 pieces at a time, I end up getting things all mixed up, and then my seam ripper comes out, which you know how I feel about the seam ripper coming out all the time. I'm fine with it, but I prefer not to have it. Okay, now at my machine, I'm going to go over and I'm going to sew these 2 pieces together. Like so this, again using my quarter inch foot to get a really accurate sewing. And this piece here, and then I'm going to open those 2 back up, press the seam open, and then sew these 2 together like this. And I'll be back to show you kind of the halfway, how, after I've sewn these 4, to show you what it looks like. Okay, now when I bring my pieces over from my foam board, I try really hard to just bring them over in exact order and not twist them. And then I sew just 2 together. And then I put them back over there in the exact order they're supposed to be. See, like this. Put it right back over. And then I bring 2 more over and put them back in the exact order they're supposed to be. I get paranoid because for some reason I easily mix them up. Okay, a quick check-in. I sewed the 4 different sections together and I pressed out all the seams. See how they're all nicely pressed and they lay so nice and flat. Okay, so now back to my sewing machine to sew the 4 pieces together. And then I'm going to put a layer of batting behind it and quilt the piece. And I'll come back and show you what that looks like. Okay, here I have the top all pieced together. And you can see on the back here, everything is pressed out really nicely. And I double pressed it again on top to have it lay nice and flat. Then I took a piece of, this is cotton batting. And this is about an 18 by 18 inch piece, or a 17. Let's see exactly what size I could have. Yeah, it's about 18 by 18. And whenever you're doing a quilt, or even a little piece like this, you want to have that batting a little bit longer than the top. So you can see how it overlays about 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. And next I'm going to quilt the top here. You can do this in a variety of ways. I'm just going to outline all my pieces and be right back to show you what that looks like. Okay, here's the piece after I quilted it. I layered my layer of cotton batting underneath, and then what you do is just choose how you want to quilt. And I decided I was just going to make an outline here. I used my 1/4 inch foot and I just made an outline in each of these little areas to kind of emphasize the star center. And then I just quilted all along the outside here. And then I gave it a nice press, and it's ready to be added to the backing. And for the backing, I just have 2 pieces of this nice kind of natural color. And when you put it on top of the quilt, the pillow top, you can see that the quilt top actually is going to be a little bit bigger than the 16 inches that we're aiming for. So I'm going to have to trim the quilt down, the quilt top down. But these 2 pieces right here are going to be the envelope backing of the pillow. And I'm just going to take these, press it over about a 1/4 inch, and then press it over about 1/2 inch. And so they're going to be like this, and the same with this other one. Now I went ahead and trimmed the pillow down to make it a 16 by 16 inch, a 16 by 16 square. And the way I did that, I used my plexiglass ruler here, and I just measured to 16, and I measured to 16. Well, this one's a little bit longer. And then I just cut off my ends just like that to get a nice straight edge. And this is about how much I had to cut off. So here are the pieces I just sewed together, the back, which we're going to make the quilting or the envelope backing with. And I layer the first piece on top. I think I want this to be the first one, kind of going, doesn't really matter. Put this one on top like this, and this is the side that was folded over, and I just sewed right over the edge there. And then I put this one on here just like this. And all I have to do now is I'm going to use my evergreen art clips here, which I like. Now I'm just going to go over to my sewing machine and sew over around the entire perimeter. And I think I'm going to switch back over to my walking foot because I like how that's going to hold all my layers together a little bit better. And then I'll be right back to show you how to turn it all right side out. So I sewed around that whole perimeter, and now I'm just going to clip my corners. And turn my piece right side out. Use your fingers to poke out those corners. And there we go. Isn't it beautiful? I'm going to put it right over my pillow now. Now, you could go ahead and press it. That might be nice. But it gets, either way is fine. You can really do any type of closure on this if you want to install a zipper, or if you think, if you don't have 4 kids like I do and you want to just hand sew the opening closed so you don't think you'll have to wash it, that would be a great idea too. Then you wouldn't have to do that extra step. But there is the completed pillow. Isn't it cool? I love it so much. I can't wait to show it to you guys up on my sofa. Okay, the pillow is complete. Here's my backing, the envelope backing, so I can easily wash it. And I'm going to make a second one to decorate my living room upstairs. I'm going to show you some pictures in just a minute. But I hope you enjoyed it, and you saw how easy it is to begin quilting in this really fun way with half square triangles and the Magic 8. So subscribe to my channel. I'm making more and more videos these days, and follow along for lots of new sewing projects. Thanks so much. Enjoy your sewing time.